From a trick gone wrong in the air to being buried in an avalanche. Welcome to this top 5 shocking moments captured on camera brushing Clinton in North Carolina. It's a small town in Sampson County. It is home to some 8,000 people, many of whom send their children to school, and one has January 13th, 2020. It started as a normal Monday. Some 5th graders were on the basketball court when a strange storm came out of nowhere. It sounded like something had exploded outside and everyone ran out. Look at the red curtain. At first, everything seems fine, but then it starts blowing and the roof quickly comes off. It sinks and sends a wave of debris to the fleeing children. Once the storm subsides, you can see what's left of the broken curtain. Micro bursts are sudden columns of air that sink and can cause hurricane-like damage. In this case, the wind speed reached 180 kilometers per hour. It was enough to tear down the wall and root out several trees outside. 3 of the children were hit by debris, but only slightly injured. Number 4. Vietnam is one of the most important cities in the country. It serves as a critical point in the east-west economic corridor linking Vietnam to Laos, Thai, Myanmar. It is a bustling city that always seeks to expand by building. On October 9th, 2023, one of these construction projects went terribly wrong. A team arrived to do some repair work on a large house. However, something slipped and one of the ceiling beams collapsed. The workers watched helplessly as gravity took over. Everyone inside was lucky, leaving the space. Imagine if the young man in the backpack had just stopped his shoe. According to the owner, the construction team acted irresponsibly on the roof. The group is Emir Obo. It is among the most urbanized regions of Russia, with 70% of the population living in one of the 9 main cities. When city life becomes too busy, some prefer to venture into the Russian countryside for a bit of extreme skiing. On the 23rd of December 2022, 2 Russian friends put on their ski boots and took to the slopes. Unexplored terrain makes cross-country skiing more dangerous, and only the best should try. These guys may be professional, but they were no match for the sea in nature.
Блядь, тут лавина аж идет. Блядь, там смотри, смотри.
Caugh.
Идет.
Стоим.
Дядя! Ты где? Стой, стой. Дыши. Дыши, тихо, тихо, тихо. Все, тихо. Я испугался. Тихо, 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 тихо. Все нормально, все нормально. Тихо. О, держись. Блять, я обоссался, отвечаю. Держись, мужик. Держись.
This man had never been so happy to see his friend's face. Then hear the panic in his voice with every breath. You can also see that the snow was so compacted around his arm that he couldn't move it. Luckily, your friend was not buried and could find him in the snow. After a brief conversation about how lucky they are both men, they began to dig up.
Ботинок есть? Вторая нога где?
Под ней. Фу, сейчас подожди, я палку.
Can you imagine how quickly claustrophobia appears during something like this? Just watching this video is enough to make you goosebumps. It only took the Reyes brothers 10 years from their first flight to get people started in aerial acrobatics. In 1913, a French pilot was the first to fly inverted, and that same year, a Russian pilot completed the first loop. Since then, planes have become faster and stunts more risky. Now, modern pilots like to see how far things can go. Take, for example, these pilots in Bangladesh, who may have gone too far on the 9th of May, 2024. In the distance, you can see a Yakovlev already at 130, approaching light lightning speed, and that's when the driver tries a risky triple turn of the wing, but ends up bouncing off the asphalt. Just as the second turn comes out, its fuselage scrapes the ground. The pilot managed to take off, but his Russian-made aircraft could not. He sailed over the Karna River at full power, and the pilot propelled himself when the engine started to burn. Fortunately, one of the pilots lost his life in the accident while the other, but in critical condition. Before this video was released, the Bangladesh Air Force is trying to claim that the aircraft experienced a mechanical failure, but this video exposed the lie and proved that the blame was an unnecessary trick. The province of Yunnan is the largest state in south-central China. On February 7th, 2024, a man was out in a little after a major snowstorm. Hundreds of kilos of ice and snow had accumulated on the roof above his head. Lucky for him, his spider senses were activated when he heard something break. It seems this was not his first rodeo. He knew he had to get out of the way. He barely heard the sound. Most people would have just looked up. Number 1, Pottery, Georgia is a small town in Fulton County, about 50 kilometers north of Atlanta. It is home to approximately 50,000 people and a mother who is extremely fast. On July 10th, 2020, a mother was relaxing by the pool while her children were swimming. That's when he heard something creaking over his head. Security cameras in his yard caught the rest of the time. The tree landed right on top of the chair. If it had been delayed for even a fraction of a second, it would have ended badly. In fact, it was so heavy that it bent the metal fence behind the chair. Also seen when the child notices that the tree is about to fall and tells his mom to get out of the way. This photo shows how terrifying it could have been. The tree fell right where my...
Okay, that was wild. Imagine that mother has some angel protecting her, because if I will be her, I will first like look at the sky and see, oh, the tree is falling and boom. I don't think you died if a tree falls over you, but I don't know. I'm not so sure. I don't want to see if that's true.
Province and is home to approximately 3 million people, all of whom depend on the same system. Sower to get rid of his turds. As you can imagine, there is plenty of methane gas under the streets. On August 17th, 2024, a person was driving when all that methane gas apparently exploded. Luckily, his dashboard camera was recording and he caught everything. Look at the trees on the right side of the street. Everything seems normal until, boom, an underground explosion. The air blasting dozens of stages of sewer, smoke, debris, and turds come out of the openings. I can't imagine how bad he must have smelled, but that wasn't all. Seconds after the explosion, the sewer covers began to fall on the cars. This one almost hit the white car. Images taken with a cell phone actually show how much damage the explosion caused.
It looks like a movie, seriously. That was some movie. That's wild.
According to local officials, no one was injured during the explosion, but they gave no direct answer as to the cause of it. Methane accumulation